Boy oh boy, can't wait to get allegations of being on MrBeast's payroll for this one. Guys, internet drama is weird because things that are essentially meaningless, like things that if you stop the average person in the street and ask them about it, they would have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, and things that have genuine, like, life-changing consequences, things that are worthy of a prison sentence, can take over the internet in equal ways. And I feel like there is absolutely nobody in the history of the internet who can seamlessly go back and forth between those two categories of drama better than MrBeast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. In a shocking, horrifying, perplexing, even, turn of events, MrBeast has once again found himself in the middle of a controversy. I know, pick your jaw up off the floor. I'm sure you never expected to hear those words again. Now, I feel like MrBeast has officially hit that point in his career, a point that he's been creeping towards for a few years at this point, where quite literally anything that he does is gonna stir up something. You know, whether it's bad or good, whether it's something worth a controversy or not, that's sort of just the price you pay when billions of people know who you are. And at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that MrBeast is pretty familiar with that price. Motherfucker's paying it all the time. Just like he has been due to his most recent video, titled, "Would You Risk Dying for $500,000? Now, if you've heard about this video or read about this video on social media or from a news article, then you may have been led to believe that MrBeast has gone like full jigsaw mode, and he's out here putting people's lives on the line for content. When in reality, this is a video of a professional stuntman doing his job, you know, stunts, in controlled environments that likely had no actual risk to them the entire time. It was a video made to entertain, uploaded to a platform that's made for entertainment, and the reaction to this video has been one of the most dramatic things I think I've ever seen take over the internet. And what makes this situation so unique is that usually when people get mad at social media influencers for silly stuff, it's confined to social media. But for some reason, that's not what's happening here. If you Google MrBeast drama right now, you will see dozens of articles from relatively reputable sources acting like MrBeast kidnapped a random man off the streets and chained him into the basement of a burning house. No, look, I'm not here to defend MrBeast. I'm actually here to kind of do the opposite. I think that there are a lot of things that MrBeast has done and continues to do that should be called out and are things that we should not be supporting. And I think when you turn shit like this into a huge deal, when you turn the focus onto this, you take away the credibility of that. Like, seriously, this video is akin to a stuntman doing a fire stunt in a movie, and you've got BBC articles titled "MrBeast Defends Trapping Man in Burning Building for 500 grand. Got USA Today, MrBeast under fire for trapping man in burning building for $500,000 prize. And the list just goes on, article after article, all saying something like MrBeast traps a man in a burning building, with a lot of the articles not even mentioning that the guy's a stuntman. And I think all this just really goes to show just how fabricated online outrage can be. If you go through Reddit threads or Twitter threads, I'll show you some, you will see people at best acting, or at worst believing, that MrBeast genuinely took an ordinary guy and locked him in a fucking burning building. Because they just want to read a headline, they just want to read a tweet, they just want to read the title of a Reddit thread and get pissed off. Within the first 40 seconds of this video, it is made clear and obvious that the guy performing these stunts is a stuntman.
In case you're curious who this gentleman is, he's actually a professional stuntman.
So the fact that hundreds of thousands of people are getting up in arms about this while not even realizing what they're being angry about really just goes to show the state of the internet. But with that, I guess at least I can understand why people would be mad. Like, yeah, obviously if MrBeast locked a random guy in a burning building, he should go to federal prison. But what I think confuses me more so than people being media illiterate, because that just seems like the norm these days, is people being mad once they find out it's a stunt. I have seen countless comments calling this dystopian, calling MrBeast some sort of psychopath who hunts humans for sport in his free time, that he has some sort of obsession with seeing people suffer and seeing people risk their lives. And like, yeah, that's a fair criticism in a lot of MrBeast videos. That's kind of why I'm talking about this, but it's not really one for this, I don't think. Like, seriously, MrBeast has made a lot of videos where he takes normal people and makes them do things that they are not prepared for in any way. Those are the ones that we should be focusing this kind of outrage on, not a stuntman doing stunts. Like, seriously, I don't understand this. Like, have you ever seen this sort of reaction for a person doing a stunt in a movie? Have you ever seen people call Tom Cruise a psychopath and a person who likes to eat people in his free time because he does all his stunts? Do you see people boycotting Red Bull because their athletes do insane shit? Like, I just really cannot wrap my head around this. It's a stunt. It's a guy who's dedicated his life, probably worked his ass off to be a Hollywood stuntman, being a Hollywood stuntman and making more money than he'd probably make in Hollywood. Like, what are we doing, guys? Are we just mad about everything now? Like, look, don't get me wrong. I know that this is a bit of a gray area. It's not quite a movie. It's not quite a Red Bull video. You know, it's not a media that we know, generally, at at least, safety precautions and the right measurements are taken. And I will admit that historically, a lot of the times it has been proven that MrBeast has not taken those precautions correctly. And in those cases, especially when he's doing those things with people who aren't trained stuntmen who don't know what to look for, those are the things that should be generating these kinds of controversies. So don't get me wrong, I understand that the general perception, or at least what MrBeast is trying to sell when it comes to his videos, is that what you're seeing is not staged, what you're seeing is actually happening. But I feel like when you see that it's a stuntman, and when you're not really dealing with a YouTuber anymore, you're dealing with a multi-billion-dollar entity and company, you've got to be able to step back and realize, okay, this is not actually happening as I'm seeing it. Of course the fires were on kill switches, of course there were vents. This stuntman does this for a living, he probably knows what to look for. I feel like it's safe to say that it's unlikely a trained stuntman is just gonna let people time to a building where he actually has a real chance of dying. Like, I don't know, I just feel like personally this all just sort of boils down to common sense. Like, should MrBeast really need to feel obliged in these sorts of situations to say, hey look, what you're seeing is fabricated, it's staged, we weren't really gonna let this guy die? Like, is that really necessary? Personally, I just feel like that's something that can be left up to common sense. And again, like I was saying, I don't even really feel like that is the biggest issue in all this. You know, I can understand a person getting upset if they feel like there was actual danger here, or this person was doing this because like they felt desperate or they needed the money. But for like the people who were fully informed, you know, people who know this is a stunt, know that safety precautions were taken, like what's the big deal? Like, can anybody articulate to me how this is any different than a movie stunt? Or, I don't know, literally anything else that's inherently risky that people do for money and entertainment? I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but would you go onto Twitter and also complain about like a sword swallowing show? Any racing sport on the planet, NASCAR, Formula One, anything like that? Any contact sport pretty much? The crazy adrenaline junkie shit that Red Bull athletes do, like base jumping, skating a half pipe that's suspended thousands of feet into the air by hot air balloons. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a smartass, but I mean, I'm saying all this because I don't think people actually care that this stuntman could have been in danger. I think they're just mad because they want to be mad at MrBeast. I do. I mean, I can't imagine a reasonable person being upset that a stuntman voluntarily did his job. I mean, this is what this guy does for a living. Considering the fact that most of the stunts in this video involve fire, I'm sure this guy has been on fire dozens of times in his career. Have we ever heard anything on social media about that? I feel like it's a crazy thing to be upset about. And again, don't get me wrong, I have made multiple videos, you can go through my channel and look for them, of MrBeast doing these sorts of challenges with ordinary people, putting them through things they should not be going through because they need money. And I have called those things dystopian, and I have said that MrBeast wanting to do those things is very strange, and it's a terrible look, and it makes him look like he kind of likes doing these human experiments. But this is just not that. It's different. And maybe I'm just missing something, maybe I'm just looking at this through the wrong lens, but I just don't understand how more people don't see that and how they're seeing the opposite. I mean, this article is literally calling MrBeast the fucking Antichrist for doing this. Like, have we lost our minds? The discourse around this is just wacky. For example, in this article, this guy writes, in his YouTube comments, Donaldson further explained that he had emergency rescue teams on standby on top of an ambulance and fire engine. There was also a pyro team controlling the fires, as he put it, and multiple fire suppression methods on hand. With the extreme lengths required to pull this off, it's wild that nobody really thought to ask, is this worth it? Joe Wilkins, what the fuck does that mean? With the extreme lengths required to pull this off, it's wild that nobody really thought to ask, is this worth it? Are you saying that if a stunt requires safety precautions, it's not worth to do? Like, what does that even mean, dude? You think a pyro team controlling fires and an ambulance on standby when you're doing a stunt with fire is overkill and not worth it? You're calling those extreme lengths? Alright, we've got this tweet from Tommy Innit saying if I can put 100 wells in Africa, I can set one man on fire. Which, like, sure, I understand what he's referring to. MrBeast has sort of used his charity as an excuse to do bad shit before. But again, I just don't think that applies here. We've got this tweet with 20,000 likes saying MrBeast is fucking evil. Shit like this is literally the plot of dystopian series like Squid Game and The Hunger Games. He preys on people's financial struggles because he knows they're desperate for money, so they're more likely to participate. That's not consent, it's exploitation. Again, I think this is a case where a person reads one tweet, they decide they know everything, and they start calling people evil. It's a stunt, man. Like, I feel like I'm genuinely losing my mind. I'm gonna say it again. There are many MrBeast videos where this tweet would be 100% accurate. This is not one of them. This guy made what is likely years of his income in what, like a week of filming? Doing his job, doing what he does already for a living. So honestly, I just don't really understand what's happening, if I'm being completely honest with you. Based off off like the internet's reaction right now. I expect to sort of get some pushback from this video, and that's fine. We can all have our different opinions, but as I've been recording this and as I've been going through Twitter and Reddit, I feel sort of like I'm losing my mind here. Seriously, am I just missing something, guys? Like, tell me if I am. Because I would bet literally every dollar I have ever made, every earthly possession I have, that all the people that are losing their minds about this on Twitter have never even blinked a single damn eyeball when they see a fire stunt in a TV show or a movie. Like, I'm gonna say this one more time just because we're rounding the video out, and I wanted to be very clear that this is my stance. There have been multiple videos I've made videos on, that MrBeast has made, that I thought were dystopian, that I thought were exploitative, that I thought were him taking people who obviously were in desperate need for money and putting them in positions that nobody would ever put themselves in unless they were seriously struggling. Like those videos where he put people in solitary confinement, that one where he locked that guy in a grocery store. I made videos on that before like the whole internet view on MrBeast shifted to where everybody hates him now, and I was getting backlash then for saying they're dystopian and saying that they're exploitative and MrBeast is weird for doing it. I think there is a stark contrast between those videos and this one. This stuntman would be doing this shit regardless, and I promise you that nobody would have been calling the movie directors that hired him psychopaths. I think a lot of this has been fueled by social media engagement accounts and news articles framing this as like it was just a random guy, and I think that's a big part of this issue. But there's also a lot of people who know this guy was a stuntman and still think it's one of the worst things they've ever heard of, and I just cannot wrap my head around that. I just can't. I'm open to the idea that I might be looking at this the wrong way, like I'm just not looking at this through the right scope, but as of right now, I think there are far more important things to worry about than essentially just a stuntman getting work. I don't get it. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, if I'm missing something here, if I'm just completely missing the mark, let me know. I just don't really understand why this many people are this angry over a stuntman doing a stunt, because that's all I see this video for. I've seen some people say that this is gonna like make kids try this at home, like they're gonna start setting things on fire. Really? Are we regressing? It's not influencers' responsibility to make sure your children aren't dumbasses. I'm sorry. Like, maybe there's an argument, maybe there's an angle I'm not seeing, I haven't been exposed to, but as of right now, as much as I don't like to say this, I think people are just mad about this because it's MrBeast, and that's it. I'm open to discussion, I'm open to revisiting this, but as of right now, I don't really see any other explanation. Let me know what you think. See ya.